All right, good morning. We are going through our series, finishing out our series about how we impact the world, how we as individuals and as a church community are going to make a difference in our community, in our world, in your world, in the larger world. We've been talking for the last 3 weeks about how we do that, and we've gone through a whole system, 3 steps. Number one, what's the number one thing we need to do if we're going to impact the world? It's on the screen. Say it. Got to get lit. Something inside of us has to change. God needs to light a fire deep inside of us. And that fire, now I know get lit means something different in Colorado, but we're going to pretend that it doesn't, all right? God needs to light something in us, change something, ignite a fire deep inside of us, because until He does, we won't want to change the world. It's much easier just to look at the world and complain about it, isn't it? No one here has ever done that, I'm sure. But when God lights something in us, something burns deep inside of us and we want to change things. And then the second thing that happens is we need to get woke. And I know I feel weird just saying it, but Toby taught about this idea that we need to see the world differently. See the world the way that God sees it, the way that Jesus sees it. He sees a broken world that He wants to change. And so once that change happens in us, once God lights a fire in us and we begin to see the world differently, the next thing we want to do, once we've been changed, is we want to impact the world. We want to take the light that we have, the things that we see, and we want to change them. We want to do something different. And so last week, we started talking about how we actually do that. And we said we need to be salty. Now, when you hear that term, be salty, in our culture, it means something different than I mean it. We're going to change the definition of this phrase. What we're talking about is that Jesus said, you are the salt of the earth, which means you need to make the world a better place. Salt makes things better. How many of you had a good Thanksgiving meal? How many of you know that it would not have been as good if there was no salt in anything that you ate? How many of you also know if there was too much salt, that it would not be good? You need what? Just the right amount. You need the Goldilocks of salt in all of your food. And we talked last week, you need to just add a dash of love into the places where you live and work. You need to be salt in the world. You and I need to make the world that we live in a better place. But Jesus isn't done there. This morning, we're going to talk about the next thing that Jesus said. He said, you are salt, but He said something else. And the thing that He says is something that you and I have in common with Jesus. In the book of John, Jesus said this, I am what? The light of the world. Jesus said, I am the light of the world. Who's the light of the world? Jesus is. Why do we know that Jesus is the light of the world? Because He said so. He said, I am the light of the world. Now grab your Bibles and turn with me to Matthew chapter 5. If you've got your Adventure Bible, it's on page 1056. Matthew chapter 5, we're going to start in verse 14. I love hearing Bible pages turn. 1056, Matthew chapter 5. This is part of the Beatitudes. Jesus is the one speaking here, and what does He say right at the beginning of Matthew chapter 5, verse 14? You are the light of the world. So first Jesus says, I am the light of the world. Now He says, you are the light of the world. And then let's finish it out. You are the light of the world. A city on a hill cannot be hidden. Neither do people light a lamp and put it under a bowl. Instead, they put it on its stand, and it gives light to everyone in the house. In the same way, let your light shine before men, that they may see your good deeds and praise your Father in heaven. How many have ever heard this passage before? How many of you have heard this more than once? How many of you are kind of tired of? No, don't answer that. We hear this phrase, this passage, Matthew 5, you are the light of the world. I am the light of the world. We hear it so much that it begins to lose its impact. It's so familiar. Anyone ever been in a place that you're so familiar with, you begin to not even see things anymore? It happens here all the time. We change our service board all the time. Do you know why? Because if it stays static for more than 2 weeks, you don't see it anymore. We have words that we've painted on the walls as you go out of our building. And many of you could not tell me what those words are. There's a passage of Scripture that if you've been here a month, you've seen it 4 times because you walk under it every time you leave. But because you see it so often, we don't even know what it is. And now some of you are not going to be able to pay attention to me for the rest of the message because you want to know what's out there. I'm not going to tell you because when you leave, you need to see what it is. But see, just like that, it becomes so familiar. This passage is the same way. We hear it so many times, and that's kind of the challenge with a passage like this. Who spoke these words? Jesus did. Should we pay attention when Jesus says these words? Yes. These are important words. In fact, these are so important, we teach these words to our kids. Anyone ever heard of this song? This little light of mine. Anyone ever heard that? All right. I asked a few people in our audience, a few of our children, to come help me sing this song. If I asked you and you were brave enough, even if I didn't ask you and you are brave enough, I want you to come out from where you are and come up. Give them a round of applause. Yes. There's my first helper. Give me 5. Yep. Awesome. Ah, Ava. Good. All right. But I need like 7 more. So I need more. If there's a kid next to you, come on up. And I need at least 1 adult. I need 1 adult. See, kids got dad to come up. Awesome. Okay, so we're going to sing This Little Light of Mine. You all know it, right? What's the first step for singing This Little Light of Mine? Got to have a light. So everyone get your light out. Everyone get your light out. They're leading, we're all singing, okay? Now, you all know the songs and the motion. Now, we're going to put the words up. So the words will be there, but don't look back there. Look, they're right there. So those are the words. Everyone know the words? All right, we're going to sing 3 verses, and we're going to do all the motions. So when we're saying This Little Light of Mine, I'm going to let it shine. You got to shine your light. Get your light up there. All right, make sure all the adults are doing it. You're watching, making sure that if they're not doing it, you run out there and smack them. No, don't do that. I'm just kidding. All right, everyone got your light? Let's sing it. 1, 2, 3. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Now the real fun, hide it under a bushel. No! You gotta shout loud. Hide it under a bushel. No! I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine. 1 more. Won't let Satan it out. I'm gonna let it shine. Won't let Satan it out. I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Give the kids a round of applause. Thank you, guys. You can head back. Yeah. All right. Now, Here's the good news, here's the bad news. The good news is that was kind of fun, wasn't it? The bad news is that song is stuck in your head for the rest of your life, or at least the rest of this day. So when Jesus talks about that, here's what I want to tell you. When he gives us that and we sing that song, the hide it under what? Hide it under a bushel. No, we wouldn't do that. Jesus says, look, when you are the light of the world. But here's the thing. Here's the mistake that we often make, and this is the implication that Jesus makes in this song, is that we hide our light. You listen, look at the lyrics. Let's put the second verse back up there. Hide it under a bushel. No, right? And a bushel, and I remember when I was a kid, first of all, most kids in the room don't know what a bushel is. What's a bushel? It's a basket. Now, growing up, I was explained it was a basket, and I knew if you put a basket over a light, what would happen? It's going to burn. It's going to catch on fire. You don't do that. But the NIV doesn't use the term bushel. What word does it use? A bowl. Jesus says, why would you light a light and then put a bowl on it? And the answer is, you wouldn't. This looks ridiculous, doesn't it? Okay, we're going to come back to this in a second. But let's go to the 3rd verse. Because I have a problem with this. And I've sung this song since I was a little bitty one. Where do we learn this song? Sunday school. Don't let Satan it out, right? Can I tell you something? This is bad theology. Satan cannot blow your light out. Satan does not have that power. And we should not tell our kids that Satan has that power. Satan does not have the power to blow out your light. Now, can you hide your light? Yes. In fact, that's the implication that Jesus is making. He says very often we have a light and we hide it. Why? And he said, why would you do that? And the fact that Jesus is even asking that question, why would you do that? Or he's saying you wouldn't do that means that very often we do. And I think there are two reasons why we hide our light. Can anyone think of one reason? Fear. Okay, now you're on the second, and we're going to come back to that. Is there a light under this bowl?
No.
How do you know?
Because
Because there's no fire. Because the bowl is what? It's sitting there on its own. Is there a, how many think there's a flame? That'd be cool if there was, wouldn't there? It'd be like magic trick. Yeah, there's no flame. And see, here's the reason I think some of us hide our light is because we don't have a light. But we're around people who do have a light, and we want to fit in. So instead of getting a light, we hide. We act like there's a light, but then we hide it. That's not a good thing. All right? And if your light is not lit, this is not the solution to the problem. What's the solution to this problem? Get lit. Get lit. That's where we started. You need to have who light this light? Ask Jesus. And that's how you do it, by the way. How do we get a light lit inside of us? We ask, God, light this fire within me, and what will God do? He'll light it. He'll light the light. And now, what do we have? We have light. Jesus says, you are the light of the world. I am the light of the world. Now you are the light of the world. I've taken the light that I have, and I've given that light to you. And all I want you to do is let your light shine. But we come along and say, no. Now, someone said one of the reasons that we'll hide our light is because we're afraid. What are we afraid of? What people think. Oh, my light. And what might they think about our light? There's all kinds of things that we're afraid of when people look at the light we have. What do we think? It's too small. My flame is not big enough. Okay? What did you say? Did he steal your answer? Why would he do that? I can't believe that. Mark, come on, man. All right, what else? What else are we afraid of? Why do we hide our light? It's not good enough. What's that? It's too bright. Oh, my light is so bright, I'm going to hide it. So I don't want you to be blinded by my light. We might think that. Sure. What else? Oh, to fit in. How might we hiding our light help us fit in?
Because now we're like all the others.
Yeah, we're like everyone else. You go to work or you go to school and there's no lights there. It's a dark place, isn't it? And we walk in and we've got a light and now all of a sudden we're different. We're weird. People look at us. Why do you have a light? How come I don't have a light? And we go, what light? I don't have a light. What are you talking about? I put it out. Which, by the way, if you hide your light long enough, that's exactly what will happen, right? So you think that was a happy accident. Ooh. Okay, what else? I think there's at least one more reason why we hide our light. Oh, people disagree with our light. We might have to explain our light, huh? If I've got a light and someone asks me who doesn't have a light, hey, how did you get that light? What is that light all about? Tell me about that light. And they start asking questions about the light, and we don't know the answers. What do? I'll just hide it so I don't have to answer anything. I fit in. This seems easier, doesn't it? But what do you notice? And as I was preparing this week, I noticed something. This seems easy. Oh, what? You said it. I can't let go. I'd like to change the clicker on the TV screen, but I can't. Why? I gotta hide my light. I can't let it. This is a lot of work, isn't it? I mean, pretty soon this gets kind of old. And eventually, if I hide my light long enough, a couple things are going to happen. Yeah, it's going to go out. Yeah, I'm going to get tired, and then I'm going to put it out. Or what else is going to happen to this bowl? It's going to get warm. It's not there yet, but if I hang out here long enough, that's exactly what's going to happen. So eventually, you know what we do? We get tired of holding the bowl. We get tired of hiding our light, and so what do? We let go. And then what happens? Now we got no light. See, we're not supposed to hide our light. Jesus says this doesn't make any sense, but we do it anyway. What does Jesus say that we're supposed to do? So you gotta, oh! It's a good thing it wasn't lit, right? Yeah, you gotta make sure that your light is lit. And by the way, this isn't our light. When we're hiding this light, whose light are we hiding? This isn't our light. I want you to turn with me to Ephesians chapter 5. Page 1299. 1299. Huh? Now, you all know the answer to this, but whose light is this? Did we just decide to get lit? And then, boom, we were on fire? Who lit us? God did. That's right. Ephesians 5, 8 through 9. For you were once darkness. Other versions say you were once living in darkness. Is that true? But now you are light in the Lord. Again, what happened is you were living in darkness, and who came along and changed that? God did. God gave you His light. God sent the light of the world, Jesus, into a dark world so that you and I could have light, so that you and I could get lit. Now He says, live as children of light. For the fruit of the light consists in all goodness, righteousness, and truth, and find out what pleases the Lord. You and I were once living in darkness, but our light has been lit. And God asks us, Jesus asks us to just do one thing. What's He ask us to do? Let your light shine. In fact, that's a direct quote out of the Matthew passage. He says, in the same way, let your light shine before men. Let your light shine. Jesus says, don't hide your light. Let your light shine. Let your light shine for all the world to see. But now here's where we come to a crossroads. Because this is a passage we hear all the time. So you know what's coming next. What am I going to tell you to do next? You tell me. You're smart. Even if you don't know, you can probably guess what I'm going to tell you. And you know, I'm always giving you homework, giving you something to go do. Last week I told you to go add a dash of love and gave you 5 things to go out into the world and make it a better place. What am I going to tell you to do next? Share your light. I mean, that's what Jesus said, right? Share your light. It didn't go out. It's still there. Didn't Jesus say share your light? Yeah? Everyone agree? Jesus said share your light? All right, I want you to look down at your passage again and tell me where Jesus said that. Did Jesus say share your light?
Yes.
No.
No.
What did He say? He said let it shine. Did He say share it? It's interesting, isn't it? That's our natural conclusion. In fact, at the very beginning of this passage, I talked about the fact that sometimes we want to throw gasoline on the fire to make this big, bright light, right? But no, God wants us to have, He wants to light this candle. And I said, you remember, you ever been to a candlelight service? We got one coming up. And what did I say about the candlelight service? It's not just my light. It's the lights as they multiply across the room that makes the real big difference in the world. One light may not make a huge difference in this room, but when we get a whole room full of lights, that's when things make the difference. Well, my challenge came this week. I was ready to tell you to go share your light, and I looked and I said, that's not what Jesus tells us to do. What does He tell us to do? Shine. Look how hard that candle's working. Is it? You may not. She asked if she could blow it out. I tell you what, you can blow it out when we're done. How's that? How hard is that candle working? Not very hard. What do candles do? They burn. Once they're lit, what do? They shine. In fact, what Jesus says is it's going to take you work to stop it from shining. What do I have to do to make it stop? I got to cover it, or I got to blow it out. There's some effort that I have to exert to get this light to go out. And so, see, we kind of get it backwards. Because here's what we think. In order to have the light, I need to do good things. And if I do enough good things, what will happen? It'll light. But is that how it works? Who lit the candle in the first place? God did. God lit this candle. Now, should we do good things? Yes. In fact, Jesus says that. Let your light shine so that men may see your good deeds and praise your Father. Should we be doing good things? Should we be loving other people? Yes. Here's the difference. We don't do it to light someone else's candle because you can't do that lighting. Who lit your candle?
God.
Who's going to light somebody else's candle? God, not you. How do we share this light? This is theological. This is going to blow your mind. How do we share our light?
Teach it.
He's not the answer to every question. How do we share our light? Witness. Okay, so we go do something. Oh, I heard it. You shine. You let it shine. A candle is designed to be lit and give light. What are you designed to do? Give light. What Jesus says is don't hide it. If you'll stop hiding it, you'll be who God wants you to be. So I'm wrestling with, I want to give you something really profound to go out and do this morning. But what does Jesus tell us to do? Shine. Just be the candle that God asked you to be. Now, are people going to get lit because they're around your light?
No.
Are people going to ask you questions about your light? Yes. Are they going to see your light and say, that's different? Yes. But here's the deal. And this is very important. In fact, I wrote it down to make sure I didn't say it wrong. Are you ready? The world needs your light. There are people in your life, there are places in this world that will only have light because you walk into them. Did you hear that? If you have light, are you ever going to walk into a dark room?
No. No.
Are you ever going to walk into a dark room?
No.
No. I mean, it was dark before you got there. But if you have the light of God and you walk in, what now? It's lit because you're there. Because you shone for God. Shone or shined? Which is it? Where's my grammar people?
Shine.
Shine. Because I'll just change the sentence. You were the light of God when you walked into that dark room. Why do we go to Haiti? Is Haiti a dark world? Is it a dark place? Should we stay out of the dark places? No. Because if we don't go, it remains dark. Jesus said, I'm the light of the world, but I'm passing that light on to you. And the only way you're going to reach the dark places of this world and make them no longer dark is you've got to go there. Are there people in your life who are living life in darkness? Yes, because we all are. Ephesians 5 said that. How will they come out of the darkness and into the light? You show them the way. You shine in their life. Now, don't worry. Here's the difference. Here's what I think is different about this whole sharing your light thing. We worry about making sure I'm taking a light and I'm lighting it and I'm passing it on. And I hope I get there in time. But what happens? It goes out. Who lights the light? God does. It's not my job to worry about the results. It's my job to love people, to care about them, to do good things, to do the right thing, to forgive people, to give, to be generous, to have that right heart, to shine, to let my good deeds shine so that the whole world can see it, so that they'll be attracted to it, and then God can light a light in their life. So what are you and I supposed to do? Shine. And if you don't shine, two things will happen. What are those two things? Come up here. Come up here. What are the two things that are going to happen if you don't take your light into the dark places? They're going to stay dark, and your light's going to go out. Thank you. You can have a seat. Do you want your light to go out? No? Then what do you got to do? You got to light it back up. Don't hide it. Now, here's the deal. I want you to listen carefully. If your light is not lit, what should you do this morning? Ask God to light it. I don't light it. Someone next to you doesn't light it. You need to ask God, God, light a fire in me. And guess what God will do?
Light it.
He'll light a fire.
Can I go out?
He will light the fire in your life. And then for the rest of us, what do we need to do? Yeah, don't hide it. Just shine. Be the light of God in all the places you go. Will that change the world? You bet it will. Let's stand and pray. Father, I thank you for every light in this room. I thank you for their faithfulness. I thank you for their desire, their willingness, their heart to burn brightly for you. In fact, sometimes we want to burn so brightly that it's actually not good. We want other people to catch on fire, to have the Spirit of God lit inside of them, so much so that we want to do that work in their lives, when what you've called us to do is not to catch people on fire. You've asked us just to shine, to do our good deeds so that people will feel loved and encouraged and supported, not put down, not judged, but to feel the warmth of the light of God, and so that they'll want it, and so that they'll do what someone in this room may need to do this morning. They'll ask you to light their light. Father, if there is anyone here this morning who says, you know what, maybe I've been hiding my light for so long it's gone out, or maybe I never really had God's light in my life. And I just pray right now, Father, that your Spirit will draw up alongside them, and that they'll just ask you, just say that simple sentence, God, light the fire within me. Remove the darkness from my life. Bring your light into my life. And as we've been talking for weeks, we know that the light always wins out over the darkness. And Father, for the rest of us, may we never, ever hide the light that you've given to us. But may we, when we walk into a place, as we talked last week, when we walk in, we need to make every place we work and live a better place. And when we walk in, it needs to no longer be a dark place, but it needs to be a bright, well-lit place, because the light of Christ is shining through us. Father, let us be the light that you've called us to be. Let us walk through these doors and shine brightly in a dark world, because that's what it needs. Let us shine for you. And all God's people said, amen. God bless you. Do two things. Number one, go shine. Number two, stack a chair. God bless you.